I started working as an arranger on the show, and it was an interesting development. I had made a really good friend of a songwriter and pianist and special material writer, Tommy Wolfe. And a special material writer does just that for variety shows, assembles songs in medleys, figures out keys that the guest artist can sing in, writes dance music for the dancers. And I first met Tommy when he was a rehearsal pianist on the Red Skelton show. And we hit it off really well. And so one thing led to another with Tommy and my friendship with him. We ended up writing an oratorio together. And the oratorio started with very humble beginnings. We got commissioned to do it from Golden West College in Huntington Beach. And our instruction was to write something that was about 20 minutes long, which I thought, boy, I don't know if I can do that. That's really interesting, but give it a shot. So we started writing, and Tommy would keep feeding me lyrics, and he'd say to me, I don't know where this is going yet, just work on it, and I'll send you some more in a little while. So one thing led to another. The whole thing ended up being 2 hours and 15 minutes. And we had a number of performances down at Golden West College and also at Cal State Northridge, and the people just loved it. They were just knocked out by the whole thing. So I had proven my sort, so to speak, as an arranger at that point with Tommy as well as another number of other people. So then Tommy went from the Red Skelton show to the Donny and Marie show as a rehearsal pianist and special material writer. And one day I got a call from him, and he said, are you available to do an arrangement? And I said, yeah. I said, of course. When do you need it? Tomorrow morning. I said, really? And he said, yeah. He says, I've got a sketch and a tape for you to listen to. I'll have it delivered out to your house. And if you can get on it right away, that would really help. We can't find the music director, Tommy Oliver. We have no idea where he is, and we need this chart done. So they messengered the stuff out to me, and I'm checking it all out and getting to work, and I'm getting into the depths of the evening and into the depths of the night and the depths of the morning. And I'm finishing up about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I put the chart in my mailbox, and they picked it up from my mailbox and took it to the copyist's office and copied it and took it into the session at 8 o'clock in the morning and recorded it. So I went to bed. At about 11 o'clock in the morning, my phone rang, and I answered the phone, and voice said, I'm looking for Alf Clausen, and I said, speaking, and he said, this is Tommy Oliver, the music director of the Donny and Marie show. I said, oh, hello, how you doing? Had never met him. And he said, well, I don't know who you are, but your arrangement was fabulous, and I'd like you to work on the show every week if you'd be interested. I said, let me check my schedule. So that was my intro to working on Donny and Marie. So I started with very humble beginnings on the show of writing the arrangements, I should say, for some of the guest artists who would come in and do solo numbers. But the more time I spent doing that and proving my worth, Tommy Oliver started handing me more and more stuff to do. So, excuse me, by the time I ended up at the end of the show, I was arranging the 400 measure production numbers and just diving in and doing the work and turning it in, and everything played down beautifully and everything was fine. So they loved the work that I was doing, so they kept hiring me. So at the end of the first season that I was working on, Tommy Oliver decided that he wasn't going to come back to the show. He had another show going, and so he had to make a choice. So he decided that he wasn't going to come back to the Donny and Marie show. When we were doing the recording sessions for Donny and Marie at Sun West Studios in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard, Wayne Osmond was supervising the booth of our recording sessions, one of the Osmond brothers. So when Tommy Oliver turned in his notice that he wasn't coming back, everybody was talking about, well, who can we get? Who can we get? And there were a couple of days where Tommy actually couldn't conduct the orchestra, so he asked if I conducted, and I said, I do. And he says, well, would you sit in for me? So I sat in for him, conducted the 2 episodes, and Wayne Osmond had watched me work. So he suggested that they try me as a music director. So I told them I would be interested, so they gave me a 3-show option, no, a 3-show commitment with a 2-show option, with a 5-show option, with a 5-show option, because they wanted to be able to get rid of me at any point if I wasn't working out. But fortunately, I kept working and working and working, and they kept me. So I ended up doing the 3rd season of Donny and Marie as music director, and it was in my opinion, it was the best season. The ABC spent the most money on it. You know, people like Lucille Ball, and it was just incredible what they would do, who they would hire. So that was really so much fun and so interesting, and really my first experience at operating at that level with that kind of stress and responsibility. Loved every minute of it. I just ate it up. And I was telling Sally a long time ago that I would reward myself at the end of each one of our pre-record sessions that I was successful at. I would walk across to the nearest record store and I would buy a record that I always wanted but never felt I could afford. And I rewarded myself, having done a good job, by buying a record for myself to pay me off, to keep me going.